Curtains Mystery Theater, a division of Get Away with Murder Incorporated, proudly presents a live reproduction of vintage radio mystery programs. Sorry Wrong Number by Lucille Fletcher is a study in terror that was first aired May 25th, 1943 on CBS Radio. It starred Agnes Moorehead, who many remember as the delightfully mischievous Endora on TV's Bewitched. So sit back in your coziest chair, grab a pillow, and thrill to the panic of a bedridden invalid as she tries to thwart plans for a murder by means of the only tool available, her telephone.
Oh, dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. But I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
Murray Hill 40098. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? George?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Who is this? What number am I calling, please?
We have heard from our client. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Yes, sir.
Where are you now?
In a phone booth.
Okay. You know the address. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer. Be sure that all the lights downstairs are out. There should be only one light visible from the street. At 11:15, a subway train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case her window is open and she should scream.
Hello? What number is this, please?
Okay, I understand.
Make it quick. As little blood as possible. Our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
A knife, okay, sir?
Yes, a knife will be okay. And remember, remove the rings and bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer. Our client wishes it to look like robbery.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, how awful. How unspeakably awful.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry, madam. What number were you calling?
Why, it was supposed to be Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have crossed. I was cut into a wrong number. And I've just heard the most dreadful thing, a murder. Operator, you'll simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon, madam.
Oh,
I don't quite...
I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them. We've got to do something.
What number were you calling, madam?
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it. And we've got to find out what it was immediately.
But,
Why are you
madam...
so stupid? Look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Murray Hill 40098 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped. And I was connected with some other number. I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make the same mistake again on purpose. Why you couldn't try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same careless sort of way.
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you, madam.
Thank you.
I am sorry. Murray Hill 40098 is busy.
Operator? Operator!
Yes, madam?
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I am sorry. What number were you calling?
Can't you for once forget what number I was calling and do something specific? Now, I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty. It's your civic duty to trace that call and to apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you won't,
I will connect you with the chief operator.
please.
Miss Curtis, will you pick up on 17, please?
Yes, dear. What's the trouble?
Somebody wanting a call trace. I can't make head nor tail of it.
Sure, dear. 17? This is the chief operator.
Chief operator, I want to trace a call, a telephone call immediately. Now, I don't know where it was from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder. Yes, a terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
It depends, madam.
Depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it is live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it has been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. It was at least 5 minutes ago. And they didn't sound like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. Now, what is your name, madam?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. But
And your
listen,
phone number?
Plaza 4 2295. But if you go on wasting all this
And what
time,
is the reason for wanting this call trace?
my reason? For heaven's sake, isn't it obvious? I overheard 2 men. They're killers. They're planning to murder this woman. It's a matter for the police.
Have you told the police?
No, how could I?
You're making this check into a private call purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile, you're...
No, Mrs. Stevenson, I seriously doubt whether we can make this check for you at this time, just on your say-so as a private individual. We're going to have something more
Oh,
official.
for heaven's sake. You mean to tell me I can't report a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. All right, then. I will call the police.
Your call, please.
The police department, please.
Ringing the police department.
Here's your lunch, Sarge. They didn't have no jelly donuts, so I gave you French crawlers. Okay, Sarge?
French crawlers. I got ulcers. Why didn't you make it apple pie? Police Department, Precinct 43, Duffy speaking.
Police
We
department?
don't have no apple pie either, Sarge.
Oh, this is Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Elbert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder.
Eh?
I mean, well, the murder hasn't been committed yet. I just overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid, and I guess in the end, you're the only people who could do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. 2 men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue. And there was this 3rd man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully. I'm not well.
I see. When was all this, ma'am?
Oh, about 8 minutes ago. Then you can do something. You do understand.
And what's your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge. You know, and we have a private patrolman on our street, the 2nd Avenue.
And what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, you know, and it's the maid's night off. I hate to be alone, even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the parties had stopped talking.
Oh.
I've already taken care of that.
Yes?
Personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. Now, what good does checking the call do if they've stopped talking? By the time you track it down, they'll already have committed the murder.
Well, we'll take care of it, lady. Don't worry.
I'd say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near a bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue. And I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
What makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Oh, I don't know. The coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
2nd Avenue is a very long street, ma'am. And do you happen to know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone? Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx. And how do you know there isn't some little house out on Staten Island on some little 2nd Avenue you never heard about? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
How do you know it wasn't a long distance call you overheard? Telephones are funny things. Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call. Supposing you had gotten your husband the way you always do. Would this murder have made any difference to you then?
I suppose not, but it's so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are committed in this city every day, ma'am. If we could do something to stop them, we would. But a clue of this kind that's so vague isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely,
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call is phony and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise, and she's a big 200-pounder. She's too busy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my husband Albert. He's crazy about me, adores me, waits on me hand and foot. He's scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Well, then there's nothing for you to worry about, is there? And now, if you'll just leave the rest of this to us.
But what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 o'clock.
We'll take
Will
care
you
of
broadcast it all over the city and send out squads? And warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
I said we'd take care of it. Just now, I've got a couple other matters here on my desk that require my immediate...
Idiot. Oh. Now, why did I do that? Now he'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40098 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098. The line is busy. Shall
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. Oh, if I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air or just lean out the window and see the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? 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 What's the matter with this phone? Hello? Hello? Oh. Hello? Hello? Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Your call, please.
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now look, I'm an invalid and I'm very nervous. I'm not supposed to be annoyed, but if this keeps on much longer,
What seems to be the trouble, madam?
everything is wrong. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care. And now my phone keeps ringing.
Yes, madam?
Ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds or so. And when I pick it up, there is no one there.
I'm so sorry, madam. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put through that call, whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid that is not possible, madam.
Not possible. Why, may I ask?
The system is automatic, madam. If someone is trying to dial your number, there's no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not. Unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to this particular operator.
And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check it for you, madam.
Check it. That's all anybody can do of all the stupid, idiotic. What's the use? Hello? Hello? Oh, stop ringing. Do you hear me? Answer me. What do you want? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Start raving crazy.
Hello? Is this Plaza 42295?
Yes. Yes, this is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here from Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
Yes, I am Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Albert.
Oh no.
That is all, madam. Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No. No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. No, it isn't true. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. Some tricks and fiendish.
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 40098 number for me just once more, please.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098. They do not answer.
He's gone. Oh, Albert. Albert, how could you? How could you? Oh, but I can't be alone tonight. I can't. If I'm alone one more second. Oh, I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled.
This is information.
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital? Do you have the address, madam?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s, though. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N.
1 moment, please.
Please hurry. Please, what is the time?
I do not know, madam. You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Now, couldn't you just...
The number for Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 70105, madam.
Butterfield 70105.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses Registry.
Who was it you wish to speak to, please?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. My husband is away, and I'm very...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, I really don't see why all this catechizing is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person.
We quite understand that, madam, but registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it's absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. Very. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid. And tonight, I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully about a murder, a poor woman who is going to be murdered at 11:15 tonight. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I will go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips, when do you expect her in?
I really don't know, madam. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down, but oh, what time is it?
Just 14 minutes past 11.
Oh, what's that?
What was what, madam?
That clicked just now in my own telephone. As though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension down.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this...
But I did. There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet, and they'll think oh, but if I don't call somebody now, while they're still down there, there'll be no time.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I cannot hear you, madam. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
Your
You've
call,
got to hear me. Please.
What number are you calling, madam?
There's someone in this house. Someone who's going to murder me. You've got to get in touch with There it is. He's put it down. He's put down the extension. He's coming. Ah! He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police. The police.
Bringing the police department.
Police Department, Precinct 43, Duffy speaking. Police Department, Duffy speaking.
Sorry, wrong number.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's production of Sorry Wrong Number, written by Lucille Fletcher. Featured in this performance was Donna Bika as Mrs. Stevenson, Justin Hale as Sergeant Duffy, Haley Reese Calhoun and Emily Bishop Basu as all the various operators, and Matthew Wilkes as George. In lieu of paid advertising, we're relying on the generosity of our listeners to continue producing vintage radio mysteries. So if you enjoyed this performance, please spread the word to 200 or 300 of your closest personal friends and encourage them to visit this site so they can share your experience. And if you're able, please click on the donate button to ensure future programming. Our actors and technical staff appreciate any amount of financial support. Thank you and good night.